Welcome to our weekly Forex forecast, and this is for trading for the week of March 22nd to the 25th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So coming up this week, we are a little behind. Here we go. All right, so coming up this week here, we do have Powell speaking. So we had Fed last week as well, but nothing's really changed in terms of what the guidance is from there. The monetary policy will still be in place. So I wouldn't expect anything to change here in regards to that. All right, so other than that, we have a lot of FOMC members speaking here. Again, right now the market is looking at the forward guidance as opposed to the focus really is on inflation at the moment, because with the loose monetary policy, with all the money that is being printed right now, it is going to push everything higher. So prices for a lot of things are getting pushed higher. So we have seen lumber, for example, lumber prices have gone through the roof, housing prices have gone through the roof. So there is concern in regards to just the day-to-day essential, the prices for stuff. And of course, we have seen the stock market completely, we've seen it go through the roof. So all this free money or devaluing of the currency pushes inflation higher. So that's what everybody's concerned about at this point. And if they provide any kind of forward guidance in regards to tightening of the monetary policy, right now they have said that they're not going to do anything for a period of time, couple of years, but that could change they may get forced into changing it. So that's where we'll have to kind of focus on what the Fed members are saying here. Any sort of comments in regards to tightening will be positive for the US dollar, but negative for the stock market. So that's what we'll be looking at. Bank of Japan, sorry, here we have CPI numbers coming up. So CPI numbers are important. Inflation numbers right now, it's not bad. So that should be, if it just comes in within line with expectations, we should be okay. Employment numbers here from UK, these are important, coming up on Tuesday, even though they're not marked as red, they're very important, just like the non-farm payroll numbers from the US. So here what we're looking for is average earnings should go up. If they do go up, that would be a positive thing for British pound. And in terms of the employment data here, if the unemployment numbers are going down, that would be good as well, and it will be positive for the British pound. And from UK as well, we have MPC members speaking. So just like the Fed members here, any kind of forward guidance from the central bankers will make a difference. So that's what we'll have to keep an eye on. And we have Bank of England Governor Bailey speaking. So same thing here. We have Powell testifying again. So any of these, any of the comments from the central bankers are important and can move the market. So between Monday and Tuesday here, there's a lot of Fed members speaking. So just like Powell's testimony, of course, will be the most important one, but these other members' comments can move the market as well. And on Wednesday here, so actually we do have PMI numbers from Australia. PMI numbers are leading indicators. If PMI numbers, so purchasing managers index, if the PMI numbers come in positive, that means they are expecting good retail sales. So this will be positive if we see the numbers go up. And on Wednesday here, we have inflation numbers out of UK, inflation going up, which is good. We just don't want it to go up like crazy. So if the numbers come in line with expectations, that would be a positive thing here for pound. PMI numbers here for euro. So with the euro, we have seen some Eurozone, I should say, we have seen some back and forth in regards to euro. There were some concerns with the vaccines. Those have been put behind. and we don't have those concerns any, or actually they have, or at least they have restarted the vaccinations from AstraZeneca once again. So that will be good. The concern there was if the vaccination stopped, then the economy is not going to return because the lockdowns and all the other restrictions will still be in place. So with the vaccination moving forward, that is a positive sign. And if these PMI numbers, again, PMI numbers are very, very important because they're precursors to retail sales. If PMI numbers are solid, then we can expect the positive reaction to flow through retail numbers as well. So if these come in above expectations, that would be good for euro. But if we see a substantial drop here, then that is negative. We could expect negative impact on euro, and we could see the drop there. Again, PMI numbers from, so this week, PMI numbers here, PMI numbers from the US. So same thing applies here. We have Powell speaking, we have ECB President Lagarde speaking. So a lot of central bankers this week. And then we have Bank of Japan, Governor Kuroda. I would suggest being careful with trading. We can expect volatility because with all these central bankers, this is going to be, it's going to be an interesting week. Right now, I don't think anybody's really likely to change their monetary policy, but the concerns around inflation, and this is around the world, concerns around inflation are going to make them reconsider stuff. And so any sort of comments or even likelihood of them raising rates or tightening the monetary policy can prove troublesome. So they will have a positive impact on the currency, but the negative impact on the stock market. So that's something to keep in mind. We have monetary policy here, statement from Swiss National Bank. Not expecting, like I said, not expecting any changes. But again, the commentary. So we have Bank of Canada, ECB, Bank of England, we have FOMC. So when anytime we see these central bankers speaking, just be mindful of that. GDP numbers for the quarter here, they're in line with the previous numbers, so not a big change. If they come in higher than expected, though, that would be good for the stock market. And of course, more central bankers here, Fed members speaking. Business climate numbers here, this is good. So if we see positive numbers here, that would be good for the Eurozone, especially keeping in mind the vaccination problems. So we have Euro Summit here, EU Economic Summit. So overall, just a lot of comments, which unfortunately we can't really do anything about. So we'll just have to just keep it in mind while you are trading. And then trade balance numbers here, this is going to be negative. Okay, all right, so expect market volatility basically this week. Expect market volatility. All right, so let's go on to our charts here. We'll start off with euro dollar as usual here. Okay, so with the euro, what we have seen in terms of the move here, okay, so let me just grab my pen. All right, so we have seen this move lower, a pullback, and now this is sort of what I'm anticipating. We had talked about this last week. If price doesn't go through these couple of levels that we had looked at, so it's still holding, it wasn't able to go through previous week's high, and now we do have a bearish candle close. There's still, it's not a solid bearish candle close, but the bias still remains to the downside here. Because it's holding our support resistance levels. So bearish bias here, first target would be 1.1830, second target would be 1.1735. Again, just keep in mind with all of this, the comments can change the direction of the market in just an instant, regardless of what the technical levels are saying. But based on this right now, bias is bearish, 1.1830, and then 1.1735 is the second target. Pound dollar here, this one also looking looking this is more sideways here. We do have that initial move lower, but it doesn't have the depth that euro did in terms of the bearishness here. So here we are still sideways here. It's been trading in this range for 3 weeks now, and it's still stuck there. It wasn't able to go through. So this week I'm looking for a move back towards 1.3775. The concern is going to be if it doesn't go through, we could see it go back up towards the top of the range. So right now, neutral bias for pound here, and looking to see which direction it wants to break in. So first thing would be, does it hold above 1.3775? If it does, then we'll be targeting the top of the range. If it breaks through, then we'll be looking for the next level higher. But for now, looking for a range bound move between 1.3775 and 1.40. So neutral bias here for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, this one is also looking neutral. As we can see, price hasn't really done a whole lot for the last 3 weeks here. It's just gone sideways, just like the pound there. So in this case, the bias here is completely neutral. The candle close is neutral here for the week. So I'm looking for a bit of a pullback or higher and then a drop. So basically looking for a range bound move here as well. And this is where it could go back into the range. So bias is neutral, looking for move between 0.7620 and 0.7835. So neutral bias for Aussie dollar as well here. New Zealand, same thing here, hasn't really done a whole lot. It's been trading sideways here. So with this one here, we have seen this drop. We had a nice bearish pin bar on the weekly, and then this is kind of what I would expect. Now we have to be careful though, because we'll have to see what the reaction is at the support level here. Every time price has come into this level, it has bounced off. So we'll have to be careful. So in this case, neutral to bearish bias, first target is 0.7100. If it doesn't go through though, then we're looking for a move back into the range here. So be mindful of that, but neutral to bearish bias, in this case, the first target is 0.71, then 0.70. Dollar CAD here, this one bounced off of the support level here. So as we can see, price has gone up here. Now, this is still neutral here. We do see a push higher here, but the problem here is going to be this resistance level that it's at right now. If it doesn't go through this resistance, we could see a further drop here. So watch out for that. So at this point, I'm looking for a retest of 1.2550. This level, if it doesn't break, then looking for a drop. But once it goes through though, next target here is 1.2600. So it could just come up here and do this as well. So those are the two levels we'll watch, and then we'll keep an eye on this on the daily. So right now, neutral bias for dollar CAD and looking for a retest of 1.2550. Euro pound here, this one hasn't really done a whole lot. Again, it's right into support. This week's candle close is completely neutral. So this one lacks direction here as well at this point. So looking for a range bound move between 0.8550 and 0.8640. So once we see a break in either direction, then we'll look for either the move higher to fill this, or until then, we are sideways here. Pound Swiss franc here, sorry, Euro Swiss franc. Euro Swiss franc dropped, but then we are still in a bit of a range here. As we can see, price hasn't really been able to break out of this one as well. So right now, market's been choppy. It has moved, but not in any kind of a trending manner at this point. So with this, I will look for a retest of 1.1120. If it fails, then we are back into this range again. But overall, price is just traded in this range, and I'm looking for it to stay there. Now, what we are going to keep an eye on is this one here. If it breaks through the resistance, then we could get this move higher. Excuse me. And we could see this bullish flag formation, but it's not finished yet. So we have to wait for a break to the upside before we take that higher. Until then, we are in consolidation and we have to hang tight. Pound Swiss franc here, this one as well. We see that price for the last 3 weeks, it's been stuck in this range. So same thing here as well. We have a sideways consolidation for this one. Price is going sideways at the moment. And once we see a break here though, then we will look for this move higher. But until then, it is sideways. So we are in this consolidation phase at the moment, and I'm looking for that. So bias right now is neutral here, looking for price to consolidate, and we'll wait for a break in either direction. So neutral bias, looking for a move between 1.2980 and 1.2800. Dollar Swiss franc here, this one as well hasn't really done a whole lot. We do see a rejection from the support level here. So looking for a move. First is retest of this support resistance level here where it's struggling right now, 0.9320. So if it fails to go through this level, then we are back into the support here. So this is kind of what I'm looking for, but we have similar formation here as well. So we have the first leg. We need to see a break through the resistance for it to continue higher. So we cannot take this one till the consolidation is complete and we see a break. So right now, bias is neutral. We'll have to wait for this one as well. Pound yen here, this one, as we can see, price is looking bearish here. Concern here though is it's right into support. So we do have a bearish candle close. Bias is bearish, but just be careful here. If it doesn't go through the support at 150.50, we could see consolidation, and then similar to what we are seeing for Swiss franc crosses, it could do another move higher. But for now, neutral to bearish here. Next target is 149.60. And then if it continues lower, 148.20. So neutral to bearish bias here for pound yen. Euro yen here, same thing. We see price went into resistance, couldn't go through here. And now we are back. This is where it has bounced off of. So at this point, looking for a move down towards 128.80, and then below that at 128.20. So bearish bias for euro yen as well. Dollar yen here, this one is neutral at the moment. The candle close is neutral. There is some bearishness in it, so we may see a drop towards 108.30, and then if it holds, we could see another move back to retest the highs here. Now, similar thing here. This is a good thing to know. So a lot of times we will see these type of consolidations, but we don't know what is going to happen. Just because we have a bullish flag sort of situation that may be setting up doesn't mean we get ahead of it. So we have to wait and see whether this turns into a reversal or a continuation. So right now, time for patience. 108.30 is the level I'm watching for. Aussie yen, this one as well hasn't really done a whole lot. We do have a nice bearish pin bar here. Make a note of the support. It is right into support at 84. If it fails to go through, then this one could turn around here as well. But right now, basically what I'm looking for is, this is a bit of a range here. So I'm looking for price to come back down towards 82.80 first, and then, or 83 and then 82. So bias here is bearish for Aussie yen as well. We do need to see the breakthrough last week's support for a continuation. So bearish bias for Aussie yen. New Zealand yen, same thing here. We have a nice pin bar. So looking for price to move lower here towards 76.80. So bearish bias, looking for a drop back towards the support level. So this is again the range it's been trading in. It went to the resistance and now looking for this type of a move. The concern will be it may just turn around here. So overall, this is still consolidating. So bias is bearish towards the bottom of the range at 76.80. CAD yen here, nice bearish pin bar, looking for a drop here. Again, please make a note, this is into support, so we do need to see a break, because otherwise what could happen is this one could consolidate again. So we may see something like this and consolidation here. So same thing, we have this bullish move higher, Right now, it's into this consolidation. So this is what we have. It's just the beginning of it right now. So either it can do this, or what could happen is we could get a reversal here, because that was quite a sharp move higher, and this inefficient move here could get reversed, but we have to wait and see. So right now I am leaning towards the bearish side just because of the pin bar here. So in this case, the first target would be 80 to 86.20. And if it continues, we are looking for 85.60. So bearish bias for CAD yen. All right, so let's take a look at our commodities now. Silver here. Silver's been consolidating sideways, hasn't really done much. Again, market's lacking direction right now. It's been choppy, but hasn't really done a whole lot overall. So from a weekly perspective, we see it's still here. It's consolidating, but nothing, no clear direction at this point. So neutral bias. With this one, if it goes through here, then that would be this. So this is where we are in the last couple of weeks. It could do one of these and consolidate. If it breaks through though, then we are basically back into targeting the highs. So right now it needs to pick a direction. It could do one of these here. Right, that's what we could see. But if it breaks here, then we are basically back into the overall, because overall this has been trading. It's been stuck in this range here for several months now. It has just been consolidating. It hasn't really shown any true direction. So for this week, I am a neutral on this one here, and looking for a move back towards 24.85. But watch out for the break as well. So neutral bias for silver. Gold here. Gold is on the daily here, trying to push higher here. Even silver on the daily was trying to push higher, but no actual directional trend at this point. It looks like it wants to go higher towards 1756. So from the weekly, here we are. So I would look for a move towards this support resistance level at 1761 actually. And then if it goes through that, then we can basically target higher. But this is where it is going to, it's going to react here. So we may see a move higher like this, and then this one could drop, or it may just turn from this level, which is 1761. So either 1761 or 1785, and then it's likely to hit some resistance there. So neutral bias here for gold as well. Oil here, huge drop in oil the other day. So this is, it's kind of made things a little out of whack. So right now, I will look for, we could get a move higher, but it's into resistance here. So last time when price was going higher, this is where it struggled with, and it could do this as well here. But this is quite a sharp move, and sharp moves like this can get reversed. So I would look out for a bit more of a pullback towards 62.20 or 63, and then we may see that drop from there. So looking for this move to essentially fill here, but we have to be careful. If the downward pressure continues, it could just break through here. It could do the continuation move, which is basically drop, pull back, drop. So that's what we have to be mindful of. But I think this one could go a little higher, either into 62.20 or 63 before we see that. So neutral bias here for oil as well. Copper here, copper stuck in a sideways range as well. And this is the range it's been trading in, between 4.14 and 3.95 for some time now. So here, as we can see, it just doesn't have a clear direction at this point. It's still holding that bullishness here, but we have to really see a break for that continuation. So right now, neutral bias, looking for a move between 4.14 and 3.95. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin, the price is not correct here. So the current price, thanks Salvatore, here is, let me see, where are we at? 57,000, I believe. So 57,000. So in terms of our resistance here, it's still, it's consolidating. It did do a break here, hasn't held the break though. So the concern here would be it could turn around. So watch out for that. We could get a drop from there. And so right now, 56 will be the target level here. So right now it's sideways over the last, let me just redraw this. Here we go. It's kind of sideways right now. So if it doesn't go through the support, it could still continue higher here. 56,000 is the level I would keep in mind. So this is a strong support resistance level. This is where it had reacted. So this is what I would keep in mind. 56,000, if it holds above, we're looking for another continuation. If it goes through it, then we have these a couple of different levels back into about 53,000, where this is the range overall that it's in currently. So this is the overall range. It's just been choppy over the last week or so. It did break at the beginning of the week, but hasn't been able to make it through. So this is what it looks on a weekly, still holding that bullishness, but just be mindful. So looking for a pullback towards 56. If it holds, then we're looking for another leg higher here. So, oops. So then we could get another leg higher, but it could come back all the way to 53,000. So just keep that in mind. All right, stock market, seeing that drop. So after all that fun with the stimulus package getting passed, we are back into the whole buy the rumor, sell the news. Now that the stimulus package is behind us, we see a bearish candle here. Now, only thing to keep in mind, it's right into support, but bias is bearish here, just like here. I'm looking for a drop basically back towards 3,800. So first target is 3,865, then 3,800, and potentially 3,720. So bias is bearish here for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly looks bearish as well. Even this one here, it hasn't really done a whole lot over the last few weeks. Price has been sideways here. So in this case, looking for a move back towards the bottom of the range. So back into 12,200, but prior to that, we do have support right at 12,600. So in this case, if it doesn't break through, this one could still go higher here. So like that. But for now, bias is bearish. First target is 12,600 or 650. And then only if it breaks through that, then we'll target the 12,200. So we'll keep an eye on that during the week, during the daily here. Dow Jones also looking quite bearish here. We had a nice pin bar on the weekly as well. So looking for a drop. And in this case, the first target is 32,100 and then 31,725. So bearish bias for Dow Jones here as well. DAX is also looking a little topish here. So with this one, it is neutral. So I'm looking for a retest of 14,770. If it fails, looking for a drop. Once it breaks through the support, basically, then we are likely to see a move down here. So this inefficient candle, that is likely to get filled. So in this case, neutral bias, we are looking to see here, keeping an eye on the break here. If it breaks, then looking for a move towards 14,000. So bias is neutral for DAX. FTSE here, FTSE also did a double top here, was stuck here for quite some time. Now looking at the weekly, as we can see, price wasn't able to break through this resistance level. We have a bearish candle, so looking for a drop. But again, bear in mind, we're right into the support level where price has struggled previously. So first target is 66.35, and then we are aiming for 64.40 if it breaks that. So right now, this is the range it's been trading in. So looking for it to come towards the middle of the range and then the bottom of the range. So bearish bias for FTSE as well. And Nikkei here quite volatile. And as we can see, still in a range, prices into support here. Once we see a break, though, it could drop lower. So right now, first target is 29,000, And then we'll wait and watch here the 29,000 mark. If that goes through, then we'll look at 28,300. But right now it's consolidating in this range. It's been stuck in this range for several weeks now, and doesn't seem to have the momentum to carry it through, which means we could see a drop. So 29,000 and then 28,300. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading week, and I'll be back again. So this week, there will be some emails coming out. If you're interested in joining me for the funded trader program that I'll be running, we will start first week of April, but you should have emails coming out this week. If you're interested, please keep an eye on your email. All right, so have a great trading week, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.